In this video, we're going to take a look at how we can optimize and create building form and geometry based on sun studies in Vasari and Revit. We'll take a look at shadow patterns, overshadowing neighbor buildings, and how to extrude volumes for optimizing building form. I've now opened the conceptual environment within Vasari, and as you see here, I have a contact model and I have the proposed development. So in this video, I'm going to show how we have reached the design goals for not creating any kind of shadow effect on these buildings here and these buildings here, and created the most optimal shading conditions for the proposed development and especially for the courtyard here. So basically what we did to speed this up, we just defined three different views here: the spring equinox, the even conditions, and the summer solstice and the winter solstice, to have the three most extreme conditions throughout the year. So if you see here, go to spring equinox, and here I just go to sun settings and put on the spring equinox, and then we are able to either pull on our sun path or make a preview solar study to look at the effect at this time. And in the same way for summer solstice, going here, sun setting, summer setting, showing a 15 minutes interval to just have more iterations going through the preview. So what you see here is that we really avoided any kind of shading effect to these existing buildings here in the summer. And if we go to the winter conditions, you'll see that we avoided to have any kind of impact, or as little impact as we could here. Of course, because in the winter the sun is very low on the sky, and that makes it a bit difficult to totally avoid, because in the evening, because of the altitude of the sun and the Earth's rotation about the sun, it's difficult to totally avoid that. But how we went about actually using the strengths within Vasari is really just to start out using the views, using the sun path and the sun settings and the preview solar study. And then many times it's good to go to a plan view to kind of visualize that it's really true what we did. But of course, when we are looking at the actual design, it can be more effective to look at it in 3D. You'll also see that the courtyard here during the summer really has a lot of sun, so we really make the day longer inside the courtyard, especially for the summer period. And if we go to the winter and we do the preview like that, you'll also see that we are able to gather some sun in the winter on the interior of this courtyard here. So really there's multiple things that you can apply here. So the way that we do it was really using design options, and it's just going down here to design options, and you can make an option set to do iterations within a specific design. So let's just make one option set and say, okay, we want to iterate the height of these different elements here. So we're just gonna say close, and we're gonna mark out, just gonna say escape, and we're gonna mark out the elements here, and we're just gonna press this arrow here and say, okay, we want to push this into option 1. Okay, so now we're not able to edit these elements here, but we can go to option 1 and we can now update the elements here. So I'm not going to change the final result, but I'm just going to kind of show you the way to get there. So what we did is to go back and say, okay, we want to define, let's say, finish editing, and we want to take this and we want to make a duplicate, just a few duplicates here. So what we now are doing is really duplicating this design here, and just say close, and we are now able to go, for example, to the copy of option 1, and we can then begin to play around, like, okay, what happens if now we make some shading here. I'm going to take this down a bit like that. Okay, this is approximately where we want to go. Then look at the heights of the different levels, maybe taking this down a bit, what happens there. So really just pretty simple to play around with the different conditions, go about the different times a year or the different sun extremes, and then we can always go back to the primary and see that now we're back, so we can kind of work with different kinds of option sets for our specific design.